Back in 1995, when Newt Gingrich was Speaker of the House, I had an interesting conversation with him about the war on women. We're going to introduce that little interaction with the news piece that introduced it, which was the news anchor at the time, Verna Avery Brown.
The usually unflappable Speaker of the House, Newt Gingrich, was knocked a bit off stride today during his daily Speakers Conference when Pacifica reporter Amy Goodman raised the issue of whether Republicans are waging an unofficial war against women with their welfare reform efforts.
I have a question about tone. You were talking about that earlier. Many people are talking about what's going on in the House as a war on women, that most of the poor are women, the whole issue about reproductive rights that keeps getting raised. But this is a question not about legislation. Some say you really fired the opening salvo against women when you didn't apologize to American women for calling the First Lady a bitch. Why haven't you apologized?
I never agreed to say anything about that. And I can't imagine you're asking this question.
Why haven't you apologized for it?
I've talked to Mrs. Clinton. She understands exactly where we're at.
Why haven't you apologized to American women? Because it goes beyond
I never said, to the best of my knowledge, I never said what you just said.
You're calling your mother a liar, then?
No, I'm calling you a remarkably foolish person for having that kind of a conversation here. And I am very sorry you would care to bring what Connie Chung did back into the public arena. Connie Chung lied to my mother. You are now trying to exploit a lie by a professional reporter to my mother, and I'm not going to take any more comment from you. I think it is very embarrassing that you as a reporter would try to take any use of Connie Chung having lied to my mother. And I think you should be ashamed. I think you should be. Yes, it is.
Why haven't you apologized to American women for calling?
Because I didn't. I'll say it one more time. You're trying to use my mother in what I think is a very despicable way, and I think it is very sad. And I have advised my mother to talk to no reporters because of precisely this kind of exploitation by people like you. Next question. Yes, sir.
That was Newt Gingrich in 1995 at Speaker's Conference, which had been going on for many years. The Speaker would hold a news conference every day. He ended it soon after that. Apparently, he blamed it on that interaction, among a few others. I thought it was more to do with the bombing of the Oklahoma City building. It happened just after that he canceled the Speaker's Conference because his rhetoric sounded too much like those that surrounded Timothy McVeigh. But anyway, I had a chance to follow up on the conversation when I met Newt Gingrich at Jimmy Hoffa's party. What are you doing now?
I'm spending about half my time learning, and then I'm at the American Enterprise Institute and the Hoover Institution studying, and I have a consulting firm called the Gingrich Group, and I have a website called newt.org, and I'm a commentator on Fox, so I'm not bored.
So you're a commentator. Well, let me ask you for this comment. You're on national television now. Will you apologize to American women for calling the First Lady a bitch?
I never did that. That's just plain false.
Your mother said you did.
No, she did not say I did. That's just false. Go back and read the record. What you just said is false.
Well, we heard her telling
And I'm frankly offended that you would say that.
You said...
I did not say that. Go back and look at the record.
But your mother said you said
No, she didn't. Go back and look at the record. You have it exactly backwards, and I find it very offensive that you would bring up my mother, as I found it offensive when Connie Chung brought up my mother. And I think it's nuts for the national news media to pick on people who are clearly amateurs, who in my mother's case had opened her home. My father had baked a cake. They were thrilled to be open, and she was exploited by a reporter. And I think it's very offensive that you would try to exploit my mother, which is what you just did.
Well, it was your mother who said that
she would call it. She didn't say that. Listen to what I said.
She did say it.
She did not say that I called it.
She did say it. But then my question is, you were talking about the contract with America.
I'd have nothing to say to you. If you're telling me what my mother said, that's pretty offensive.
Well, she said it on national television. As you were describing...
There's no more.
As you were just... Well, no, I have a fair question to ask that I'd like you to respond to.
We're interested in talking. We don't need... we're here with friendly people. You're being rude. It's just not nice.
I'm not being rude. I'm asking a very serious question.
We're not talking about it anymore.
And that was the interaction with Newt Gingrich at the Jimmy Hoffa party that was sponsored by the Republicans.